Hello, everyone, and welcome into an all-new edition of Illiana Stock Car Radio, episode number 54. Jeremy Banning, Chris Goodacre here with you, as always. And Chris, quite the show we have lined up this evening.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I know this is kind of one of our throw it together at the last minute, but also I'm excited.
Yes,
you excited?
I am excited. Great episode coming your way. We've got from the ARCA Midwest Tour, Gregg McKarns and Tom White. Also, we will keep you guys up to date on all the latest information around the area, so stay tuned. Well, damn, Chris, it actually worked this time.
All right. Hey, we're getting better.
Something's getting better, technology or something's getting better. But
us, we're getting better.
We're getting better. Chris, I say we waste no time and we bring these two right in.
Yeah, let's just dive into this one.
So we'll bring them in. I guess let's intro them first.
Okay, yeah. Tell us who they are.
Yes. So first up, we'll have Gregg McKarns. He's the owner and promoter for the Madison International Speedway, also the ARCA Midwest Tour. Been involved with a bunch of other racetracks, Rockford Lacrosse as well. Big in this, the McKarns name is big in this area. Some former ArtGo co-founder, owner, John McKarns, and then also Tom White, official starter, the ARCA Midwest Tour, and former official starter and a track official at the Illiana Motor Speedway. So let's go ahead and bring them in. Gregg and Tom, welcome to the show. You guys got us?
I do. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Yep, we got you.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking a little time out of your evening. I know you probably, like everybody else, is busy getting ready for the weekend to come.
Yeah, we're looking forward to getting racing going back. When everything started, we weren't sure how to shake out, but racing's back in the state of Illinois, and the pavement track's been going strong there. Both Grundy and Rockford have gotten their weekly shows going, so we're excited to finally get the Midwest Tour back in action at Grundy, and also returning there for the first time after taking last year off. So it's going to be neat to bring the stars and cars back to Grundy, where it all started for my parents with ArtGo, and to see all the improvements that they made there at the track. It's just going to be a fantastic night to get out and get back to the racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, getting ready to start the season with the Wayne Carter Classic. You mentioned it. That's kind of where it all started for the ArtGo series and your family there. So I would have to imagine the event probably holds a special place in your heart.
Yeah, it is Grundy. I grew up going there and sold programs to countless race fans over the years throughout my youth. And it's always been a fun track that was kind of our home track on Friday nights, and when I could start driving, I would tool down to Morris on Friday nights and take the back roads on my S10 and take in the Chicagoland racing, and it's a special place for us, and it's kind of fitting that that's where the Midwest Tour starts back up here in 2020, and with the mix of outside drivers and the local drivers that we have entered, we know it's going to be a barn burner Saturday night for the Wayne Carter Classic.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen a couple of the hot shoes from the ARCA Midwest Tour have popped in on the registration list. Dalton Zare, Andrew Morrissey, and I'm sure a bunch of the local guys will be signed up as well.
Yeah, we're putting the entry list out. We'll come out tomorrow. It's kind of wait to see who got through the Slinger Nationals tonight. Guys like Ryan Farrell and Austin Nason are there. Trying to win that race there at Slinger, which is pushed back until tomorrow now. And then, but we'll put that entry list out tomorrow. But it looks like we'll be 25 to 27 cars strong. But it's really the who's who you want from the Midwest, and drivers from 5 states gonna converge on Morris, Illinois. You mentioned Dalton Zare, who's our 2019 champion and most recent Wayne Carter Classic winner, but also Jonathan Island, who's a former champion from Hampton, Minnesota. He'll be coming down. He ran second the last time that we were at Grundy, and also Casey Johnson, who's red hot. He's our defending champion and definitely one of the top drivers in the Midwest. And I know he's excited to get to Grundy. And then Paulie Schaefer ran second last Saturday night at the weekly show there, and he's tuned up. So a lot of our guys are looking to go, but then you throw the Eddie Hoffmans and DJ Weltmeyers into the mix, and it's going to be a heck of a program for the race fans.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Tom, most of our audience knows you as a local official with Illiana and Grundy. How long have you been working for the Midwest Tour now?
Since it started back in 2000, I think in 2003. Tim Olson owned it and hired me, and I've probably the longest employee there, I would have to say.
Now,
I think there should be extra pay for that.
Well, you take that up with your boss. Obviously, we don't want to be in the middle of a labor dispute or anything,
Yeah, she's in the other room. Let me know if I should go get her.
Don't we both know that? So obviously things are going to be a little bit different this year with the virus and everything. And Gregg, I got to imagine that trying to juggle both getting Madison up and going and getting the whole Midwest Tour going with races in Illinois and Wisconsin, Nashville, that it's got to be pretty tough to get all this stuff coordinated, right?
Yeah, it's a bit trying, but everyone's been going through it. It's pretty cool. The Illinois Motorsports Coalition got formed, and I think that's a good thing for short track racing in the state of Illinois. We've had it in Wisconsin for 9 years, and with our promoters of Wisconsin Auto Racing Power Group, and Illinois followed along with it. Michigan's had it for a long time, which is who we copied in Wisconsin, and a lot of good things have happened. And Matt Curl at Farmer City, down to Chris Blair at Gateway, and the Dearies at Rockford. Just a lot of group effort and rowing the boat in the same direction to get racing back. So everyone's been going through it, and we're all kind of, luckily Mother Nature has trained us well to expect the unexpected. So I'm just kind of looking at everything kind of like a bad forecast, and we roll with the punches as we can and reschedule as needed. But now that we're back at Grundy July 11th, we go to the Larry Deachens Memorial at Wausau, and then we go to the Gander 250, which is our big Tuesday night show on August 4th at Wisconsin International, which pays $10,000 to win and $1,200 to start. And those are three big events right off the bat, and then as the month of July progresses, we'll get the rest of August figured out. But we know that we'll be running the last 2 weekends in August and have plan A through Z at our discretion. And hopefully here in the coming weeks, we'll know which plan to put into action. And then we're at the Dells Oktoberfest and back to Nashville. And Nashville just opened up. So while it was delayed, I think we're going to have a strong 7-race series and make the best of it for this year and be stronger for it. A lot of good support from our tour regulars and some guys hopping back in, like Jacob Gady, who was the NASCAR national champion. He just texted me last night, says that he's going to come down. He doesn't have anywhere to run this weekend. So, Jacob is a former winner at Bristol and one hell of a race car driver, winning the national champion with a 12-year-old left-hander chassis and a 604 crate motor, and put it to him last year on the NASCAR national scene. So he's coming down, and Skylar Holzhausen, who's a very, very strong runner. He came out of his semi-retirement and is excited about racing again. So he's coming down for that $5,000 top prize that was put up by Rod Baker Ford and Illinois Truck and Equipment. So a lot of good drivers pointing their haulers towards Morris Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. So, for those that may be watching and maybe not understand, this probably for the both of you guys, kind of understand, help everybody kind of understand what your guys' roles are going to be, what your nights are going to be like for the Wayne Carter Classic coming up this Saturday. Just kind of what you guys work through and what you guys do. Because really, a lot of us, like, myself who works on a team, or Chris in the photography stuff, we only see kind of our aspects, and sometimes we always get pissed off at the officials, but we don't really see everything that kind of goes into it. So explain a little bit of what you guys' roles are going to be, and so maybe help everybody appreciate it a little bit better.
You first, Tommy.
Okay. Well, my role is to follow Gregg's schedule. And if anybody knows Gregg's McKarns, he puts a schedule out, and you go by the schedule by the minute. And it's a pleasure working under those conditions. So, he's got the divisions, the practices, everything set on a schedule, and I'm actually scared of him. If we don't start on time, there's a lot of screaming going on behind the scenes, which you crews don't normally see. But my role is basically to help in tech, and then flag the practices and the Midwest Tour event portion of the event from the flag stand. And then we also have a race director, and we have a whole crew that comes with us, probably 3 or 4 other tech people and tech director and whatnot. So plenty of help, and that's usually how it goes down. And then the program starts out with qualifying. Qualifying is very important. A lot of teams put a lot of effort into the qualifying, and then the programs put into one of the few series that around anymore that still runs heat races, which I still like, and there's even odd heat races, and then top 16 make it by time, which that's the emphasis on the qualifying, and then those out of the top 16 get put into some qualifying races, which they race into the feature. The way they finish in those heat races is where they start in the feature. So all the races that we put on are for a reason. So not just to go out there and run around for nothing. So that's my role. And then
right.
I understand we also have 2 other support divisions along with us, which are kind of exciting. The Vintage Series and the Midwest Compact Series, mm-hmm. which he's had before. So something different, something for everybody out there. So that's my side of it.
Right. And I appreciate, one thing you mentioned there that I kind of appreciate is that, like you said, the heat races actually mean something, because several of the racetracks, they'll just run heat races on Friday or Saturday night, and they won't really determine anything. It's just, to get 8 more laps or 10 more laps. And, so I can definitely appreciate heat races actually meaning something for starting position.
Right. And I believe there's points involved with the fast heats and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So there's they really do race. I mean, I sometimes my jaw drops when some of them fast heat races I'm flagging, and there's some they're heated. I mean, most people would just like, what are you doing? But our guys, they really go at it. So.
Oh, is it my turn?
Now we're supposed to hear your role.
I'm a race fan first, and so my job is to put on the best show possible for the fans. And Tommy mentioned staying on schedule and all those things, and all that lends itself to providing the best experience. So we hustle on on text messaging and everything to try to get the top drivers from the area there and make sure that we have the top local stars. And that was something that has always been important. And that's what the Midwest Tour is based on, is bringing the top local talent to their home track to face the best touring drivers from the region, and to put on that show for the fans. So that's really where our concentration's at. And the Midwest Dash Series has put on a good show when they've been a part of any of our races, whether it's here or Jefferson or Madison or elsewhere. They've been a good support role. And the Northern Outlaw Vintage Series is kind of the offspring of the Illinois Vintage Series and the vintage of the vintage before the vintage. But they have some great looking cars and put out some horsepower, and it's just a nice change of pace, and be excited to see them back at Grundy.
Sure.
And then I believe also, we forgot to mention that the Illinois Stock Car Hall of Fame will also be on the grounds. And I believe they have some past champions from the Grundy County Speedway signing autographs that night. So, and then Gregg, I don't know what's unique with our series is we also always usually have a autograph session for the fans, but I don't know with the current conditions if we're able to do that.
That'll have to be a 2021 project, unfortunately. But the
Right.
pits will be open after the races.
Well, that'll actually lead me into my next question, guys. So I appreciate when you guys do that. Makes my job a little easier. It's just how will things overall be different given the current, COVID situation? Will you guys have your own protocols in place? Will you go kind of leave that up to your host tracks to put those protocols in place? How do you guys anticipate that working?
Yeah, we're following the track's lead. There'll be some differences. They have some sanitation stations set up around the track and so on. We've, our teams, they ride in the hauler together, so they've been asked to stay in their pit area. Driver's mean will be a little bit different, but in the show aspect of things, they're in race cars strapped in with helmets on, and they're going to be battling for $5,000 over 100 laps. So the product on the track isn't going to change. There's going to be a few things in the background, but we're not going to let that distract us from putting on the races and doing what we love Saturday night.
Sure. Now, Tom, you mentioned a little bit ago, and you're kind of talking about your duties and what you do with the Midwest Tour. I'm curious how that differs from, a lot of us know you from Illiana, being the head starter there and working tech and stuff there. How does that differ from the tour, national or a local tour side of things versus just kind of your local track?
Basically, it's the same. I flag the same. It's just the cool part about it is the way it's designed is we're taking the best of the tour or the best of the Midwest and putting them up against the local drivers at the Grundy County Speedway, which is how the whole business model of the series is designed, to put the local cars up against the best in the Midwest. And I feel like we do have the best in the Midwest. And that's what I believe really makes the show. You really know how you pan out when you're racing up against the drivers of the Midwest Tour, and the rules are the same as the Grundy County Speedway. So I'm very hopeful. There's really no reason in the world why we shouldn't have a lot of local support. It's the same cost. Everything's it's the most bang for the buck as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know. So I guess there's a little. We run the different tires. The only difference is the tires. So, but the flagging and the procedure, the flagging and everything's, I've always promoted 2 lanes of racing, so we really push on that. We don't like a lot of beating and banging or uprooting or whatever have you, but that's how I've always flagged. Right, Jeremy? I don't know if you ever. I don't remember ever black flagging or anything. We got it wrong.
You never black flagged me, but you never let any of my restarts go. I remember that.
I'm a stickler for that. I'll tell you that. If it's not a good start, if you know how it is in the stands, it's got to be even off the corner, or we won't go with it. So
I swear it's like you guys have my notes, because Tommy, I was going to ask you about that, because a lot of the memories I have for you, especially as a fan, was seeing guys, 2 or 3 times not get a good restart, and you just come hauling ass out of that flag stand down on the racetrack.
That was years ago. Now it's kind of hard to get down there, and the way these drivers are today, all buckled in the containment seats and full face helmets and whatnot, you start yelling your head off and they can't hear a word you're saying. 25 years ago with the open face helmets and you could reach in there and have a heated discussion and plead your case about how you wanted things done, and it was done. But now we do it with spotters and radios, and generally I don't have to get down onto the racetrack. The messages nowadays are relayed through our race director or me up to the spotter. Our Midwest Tour always has a spotter stand, which requires the spotters for all the cars to be in a group, and then they are supposed to relay the messages down. The way we operate is if we see some blocking or not giving a lane to pass or whatnot, we'll send that message down through the radio, and we'll let that go for a little while, and then I'll start pointing a black flag at them, and trying to get the message to them. But all in all, we usually get that settled pretty good for fair two side by side 2 lanes of racing that we promote. So.
Right. I was going to ask, do you guys in your series run a receiver? I know a lot of series do, or local tracks run receivers. Kind of makes communication when the drivers actually use them a little easier. So I don't know if that was something that you guys use, or
we do not. They have to monitor the spotter. We don't have direct communication with the driver in the tour. The spotter is supposed to monitor our channel with a scanner or whatnot, and then our race director or I or even Gregg will get to the spotter of the car, and it's their job to relay the message down to the car. As far as that, and also relineups and to expedite the whole where you belong after a yellow or whatnot, or if you're going to the tail or whatnot. But it's basically all done through the two-way radios. So.
All right. So question for Gregg coming in from the audience over here is from Steve Bechtel of Grundy County Speedway, asking if any progress has been made with the town having Madison Speedway open up anytime soon.
Really, it's the Dane County Health Department, and we are continuing to try to educate them and be allowed to open at a percentage. But as of right now, no such luck, but the fight continues on that, and we'll concentrate on the tour and our involvement at lacrosse in the meantime, and hopefully we'll get Madison open soon. I'm going on the local ABC affiliate tomorrow to kind of share our story again and see if we can get something going. We've been working with SEMA on that and had over 450 unique letters sent from our race fans, drivers, sponsors, crew members, and so on to the health department, just trying to get them to have that conversation with us. If the zoo can be open and movie theaters can be open, surely we can figure out how to social distance in our 10,000 seat arena there at Madison. So we'll continue doing that and see where that goes. But that's unfortunately that's where we're at on that. But the battle rages on there. But it's us and Angel Park are the only 2 weekly tracks in Wisconsin that are currently not able to open due to health department regulations, and we're working in unison to try to get the same the same type of considerations that other businesses have been allowed in our county. So I appreciate you asking, and we'll keep on trying. But like I say, it means a lot to me to get the tour going, because a guy like me, I'm used to doing 60 to 80 events a year, and this will be my second promotion of the year. I got roped into doing a dirt late model show at Wilmot a few weeks ago, which is very cool, but definitely out of my regular scheduled broadcast. But might do a couple more of them. We'll see. But excited to get back in the mix with our teams and our fans at Grundy.
Right now, you this is a question, I guess, semi-related to that, maybe a little bit off the beaten path. But you've obviously we know your family history around here, and you've grown up around racing. So how'd you take the owning and promoting path versus maybe getting behind the wheel yourself?
Well, I just I fell in love with being an official with the Midwest Enduro Series way back when, and I got to lay out some ads for it for races like during the fair at Grundy County Speedway. And I used to cheat score Eddie Hoffman. That's the first person I ever scored a race for, was Eddie Hoffman, to make sure that the scorecard wasn't getting altered. And that was probably age, 7 or 8, somewhere in there, and announced a race at Impact Speedway, which is what Madison was called when it was a dirt track, when Tom Deary had to go to the bathroom and he handed me the microphone. and so I grew up in it, and I thought I was going to be an NFL star, and realized that wasn't going to pan out. And so sophomore year of high school, I made the decision to really turn my attention towards the racing game and the promotion aspect of it. And I just love every part about getting fans into the stands and putting the show on, and all those things are I find great joy in. And when a driver gets his first win with me, whether it's in a sportsman car or in a super late model, Paulie Schaefer finally got a win with me at Madison on a non-tour event, and I made sure I was down in victory lane to get my picture taken with him. It's important. Gabe Summers won at Wausau last year. He was second in the points at New Smyrna for Speed Weeks a couple of years ago. And, you got to make sure that guys like that are the up and comers. And we take a lot of pride in having the best drivers. And, that's how I grew up. And I guess I don't know any better, but absolutely love the challenges that it presents. And if I had to do a real job 9 to 5, I'm not sure I'd survive.
This is a question for the both of you, and you guys have both talked about the level of talent here in the Midwest. And me personally, I'd probably put that talent above anywhere else in the country. But it seems like, when you talk about, racing today or short track racing today, everybody goes south or maybe everybody goes west. And I personally kind of feel like the Midwest gets slighted a little bit. I kind of get your guys' thoughts on that and the level of talent that is truly here in the Midwest.
I believe the Midwest has the top talent. I think none better. I think the driving, the respect is second to none. What I see a lot in the Midwest is the driver a lot of times is the owner and works on the car, and that has a lot to do with how you drive. It's not like some young whippersnapper that wants to know what time practice is ready, and he comes jumping in the car and away he goes. The Midwest, them guys pretty much own their cars. They work on their cars themselves. There's an exception to a few of the teams, but that's generally the way it works in the Midwest or Wisconsin, Minnesota, whatnot. So not really highly financed, vast amounts of money that I've seen. So I think that's the difference. So
when you look at it, guys like Andrew Morrissey and Danny Fredrickson are both running Saturday. They are, they own their own stuff, and they are some of the brightest minds. Dalton Zare's right in there with them. These guys are behind the wheel, and they could probably hang up the driver's suit and the helmet and get paid money to go out east and set up a car for the next big thing. But these guys just love short track racing. They help people as much as they can, and those are the type of guys that we pride ourselves on having in the Midwest Tour, because they understand it. Every region thinks they got the best drivers, and it is dependent on the calendar. It does change, but I know when we were in Charlotte for the NASCAR banquet in November, I did a Midwest is Best party. And between Derek Kraus, who was the West champion, and Sam Mayer, who was the East champion, and Jacob Gady, who was the national champion for the NASCAR Weekly Series, we had 9 total drivers represented there, more than any other region. And we had all those guys at a party before the banquet. And you sit there, and the year before that, we had Steve Carlson at our party. And anyone that can sit and watch Steve Carlson race, he runs with us weekly at La Crosse, and he'll be running 4th, and you blink, and the next thing you know, he's on the outside going for the win. The guys like that just set the bar so high for other drivers to learn from and learn to race the right way. And we're very blessed to have the talent level that we do. And we like I say, we pride ourselves on not having those buy a ride type scenarios, and have guys that have the grease under their nails and have the understanding of the front end geometry to put that car in victory lane.
Yep, absolutely. Well, before we let you go, we're going to let you guys do one last sales pitch for everybody to come out to the Wayne Carter Classic, the ARCA Midwest Tour opening event this Saturday night at the Grundy County Speedway. Sell them. What are you guys looking forward to? What do you think is can't miss? And let's put on your promoters hats for a minute.
Well, I'm looking forward to. I was down there on opening night passing out flyers for my boss, and I could not believe how nice the facility, how nice they fixed it all up. it was absolutely remarkable. Everything's painted really nice. Guardrails are painted yellow. The new lighting on the track and throughout the whole midway. And I don't know if you remember, Jeremy or Chris, there was an interesting washroom in the pit area.
To say the least.
That is completely remodeled, refurbished, and state of the art. Same thing with the grandstand washrooms. They completely went in there and painted and put some stainless steel apparatuses in there. And I was in there. That's where I hung up all the posters. And funny story, I went in there and put all these really cool posters over the urinals, and came back about 10 minutes later, and 6 of them were gone. So that's how you judge how good Gregg does with those posters. So that was that. And I would have to add, like I say, I'm really looking forward to the competition. I'm really looking forward to seeing the Eddie Hoffmans and the Nathan Kellys and the top runners at the Grundy County Speedway really putting on a show, or putting a competition up against our guys, and every one of them has an equal chance with our guys. So, and I'd like to add also that when you're running or working with the McKarns family, they make you feel it's a whole family atmosphere. So the teams, from the teams to the employees to everybody, it's just like one big happy family. Well, not always happy, but that's the way it starts out.
No family's always ever happy. So
no, but that's a great part of working for Gregg and his family. So that's why I'm still there. So that's what I got.
Oh, I thought it was because I had to buy breakfast at our place Sunday morning.
Yeah,
we'll see. So the last effort, again, the improvements done at Grundy have just raised the bar and made it a premier track in our region. And we're bringing a premier event. Like I said, we got drivers from 5 states. We're going to have 6 former Midwest Tour champions in there. We have the top Chicagoland Friday night drivers that are going to be running, and it's a good mix of drivers going for a big prize. I mean, $5,000, $700 to start. This is a big paying show, and it's going to be in town.
Gregg, yep. I almost forgot. We completely forgot about Ricky Baker. Ricky Baker is debuting a brand new state-of-the-art car, and he's always the man to beat at the Grundy County Speedway. So he hasn't been out yet, so that's how I forgot about him, but not to be forgotten. So, and then the 2 great sponsors we have to make this all possible: Rod Baker Ford and Illinois Truck and Equipment. So.
Yep, and thanks to those guys, we're able to offer that purse, and so like I said, it has a lot of haulers pointing our way. Tied with the Midwest Dash Series and the vintage cars, it's just going to be it's going to be one of those shows you want to make sure you're at. We haven't been there since 2018, and the tour's returning to Grundy. It's a whole new look. It's going to be under the LED lights. It's going to be a special night, and the circus is rolling into town, and you don't want to miss it. So Midwest, it's midwesttour.racing is our website. You can buy tickets in advance, or you can get them at the door. Up to you. And racing starts at 7:00. Qualifying's at 5:30. But our goal is to have the show done by 10 o'clock and have you on your way. So a nice 3-hour program, and we hope that you'll join us at Grundy County Saturday night.
Awesome. Well, before I let you go, I don't want to be the controversial guy, but I got to be, because we're getting questions from the peanut gallery over here. Will the new 5-star body be legal in 2021 with the ARCA Midwest Tour?
The body's actually under a local allowance. Will be on display and racing this weekend. It will be legal next year on the tour. The ABC program is something that my father worked very hard in, and
right.
While there's some missteps along the way, we'll put those in the past and do what's right for the short track industry as a whole in 2021. And not hang people out to dry this year that have that body, because they were caught in the middle. So we'll do what's right by the guys that have those at the weekly tracks. But our touring guys are on the ABC program, and will continue to be throughout the year. But when we go to a track like Grundy or State Park that have allowed those bodies, it might be 2 or 3 guys, but we're glad to have them run with us, and we'll move onward and upward for 2021.
Awesome. Well, guys, that's all we got for tonight for you. Appreciate you guys both taking the time out to stop by. We could probably have you guys on with the history and whatnot. We'd probably have you guys on for several hours, but always leave your fans wanting more. So it just gives a reason to have you guys back in the future.
Yeah, my picture is Tom Ruffner's first ever win in the Wayne Carter Classic in '75. So if you can see that picture, but that's Art Frigo and Tom Ruffner down there on the front stretch at Grundy.
And there's some, that's a whole topic for another story there, show. There's hilarious stories, that behind the scenes stories that I could tell you about stuff that happens at racetrack with Gregg McKarns.
What?
Well, see, it looks like the next episode just writing itself.
It could. The 43rd annual promoter of the year, I believe.
Well, on that note,
he had to tell that to a competitor at the Wilmot Speedway when I was with him a couple of weeks ago.
Well, that's always something good to have in your back pocket, though.
I don't like to say it much, but his holler was too big.
So,
good stories, good time. Look forward to.
And of course, you also heard that I strayed over to the dirt side last weekend too.
I did see that because I saw you checked in over at the hill. So
yeah. I spent all night washing the flags last night. So I had to get them ready for Friday night. So.
Good to hear that you're finding work again, Tom.
Yeah.
Oh man, good stuff. Well, we appreciate you guys taking the time out to talk with us for a little while, and we look forward to seeing you guys at the racetrack, and hopefully having you guys back on here pretty soon.
Looking forward to it.
You bet. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. Chris, good stuff, man.
Yeah, it's just kind of barely scratched the surface of good stuff too.
We did. I figured we would only scratch the surface. Like I said, we could probably go on with them probably for several hours, but
at least, yeah. I kind of in my I don't know what's the way to say it. I guess dream episode, just like be sitting Stan Kalazinski and Tommy White, and we just run the cameras.
Yeah, and you know what? Those episodes would probably be easy for me, like a Bechtel episode where just kind of give them a topic and let them go. And for someone like myself who's maybe a little light on the history, that's also a good learning opportunity.
Well, you're young. So. You're light on history to begin with.
Well, that's true. I am. I hope everybody enjoyed the interviews there with Tom White and Gregg McKarns and our local racing spotlight presented by S4 Motorsports Marketing. You can find S4 Motorsports on Facebook and Instagram to see how they can get your small business's message out front with on and off the track motorsports marketing. So, with that being said, let's move on to the weekly winner's circle segment presented by Damn It Race Videos. Damn It Race Videos provides quality racing videos from the Grundy County Speedway and the South Bend Motor Speedway. You can watch all the videos on the Damn It Race Videos YouTube page and also follow them on Facebook for the latest news and information on their schedule and their video postings. So let's take a look at what we had going on this past weekend from the South Bend Motor Speedway. Feature winners, they raced Friday night this past week on July 3rd. So Todd Cowan got the VROA modified. It was Modified Mania night, so he took the modified feature. Steve Stacy put his Outlaw late model in victory lane. Austin Maynard, he's cleaning up in the Sportsman late model division this season. Brandon Zachary is street stock victory. Matt Davis led a Davis trio, the top three there, from what I saw in the results this past Friday. And then Dakota Milburn took the Hornet A feature. Moving on to the Grundy County Speedway feature winners for Saturday, July 4th. Eddie Hoffman, surprise, took the super late model win. John Ventrello in the mid-ams. John Sinercha in the street stocks and Katie Hocking in the pure stock feature there. And last but not least, the Shady Hills Speedway. Nick Allen took the feature win, the Firecracker 50 UMP modified feature. I think I saw there's 12 years between feature wins in the Firecracker 50. So quite the span there, but nonetheless picking up victory there. Lee Hobbs, the Lucky 7 stock car race number 1, and Ryan Lagasty took the 4-cylinder enduro event. A lot of racing this past weekend.
Oh yeah, I was a little confused. I got to admit, being at South Bend on Friday and Grundy on Saturday, I was kind of struggling with what day it was, but I made it through, and now I got 6 billion pictures to edit.
Well, you keep clicking the camera.
Yeah,
it's another one you've got to edit. So
I have thought about that, and I have slowed down on how fast I click. I just also have other people clicking with me.
Not necessarily the speed of the click, it's the amount of the clicks. Yeah.
Well, that new camera I got, it's got full auto, where by the time I realize I'm holding the button down, I've got about a dozen pictures.
Man, and then that means you got a lot of work on the Good Acre Photography pages this week.
It does. Grundy's pictures from last week finally got posted this morning. South Bend and Shady Hill going to be a little bit longer.
Well, you better hurry up, because taking a look at the local racing calendar we've got going on, and that's a segue.
Yeah, I'm going to need a vacation next week.
That's a segue, by the way. Grundy County Speedway is going to be racing twice this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
On Friday, July the 10th, the Mid-Am Stock Car Series will be at the Grundy County Speedway for the U-Pullet 44. Also had the Street Stocks, Pure Stocks, Midgets, and Super Cups on hand. And then we've been talking about it all night. Saturday, July 11th, the ARCA Midwest Tour's Wayne Carter Classic 100 will be taking to the Grundy County Speedway with the vintage cars in the Midwest Compact Touring Series, 4-cylinder event. So that is going to be a jam-packed night of racing, jam-packed weekend of racing around the Grundy County Speedway. So if you're out that direction and want to check them out, you find all the information there at Grundy County Speedway's Facebook page and the website. Not 100% sure. I didn't catch it when I was doing the research. If you have to pre-order tickets and whatnot for the Friday show, but obviously for ARCA Midwest Tour, Gregg talked about how you can get tickets for that event. So go check the Facebook page there for all that information. If you want to go dirt racing this weekend, that's available for you too as well. Saturday, July 11th, at Plymouth Speedway, they'll be racing with UMP Modifieds, Thunder Stocks, the 600 Micros, and the Mini Stocks. Or if you want to take in the Shady Hill Speedway on the 11th, they've got the Scott Minter Memorial Race for the iMods. It's a 48-lap feature. Also have an Lucky 7 Stock Car Series race number 2, along with the Modifieds, the Pro Late Models, and the Bombers. Now, if you're out east and you want a big racing show on Saturday night, well, they've got that for you too at the South Bend Motor Speedway. The Gambler, featuring Kenny Wallace. That's right, NASCAR's Kenny Wallace. He's going to be on hand. So big night of racing. The Outlaw Late Models. They'll have the Denny Nairi Duel, Sportsman Late Models with the Magic Matt Memorial, and the Street Stocks with the Doughboy Memorial out that way. So big night of racing there as well. So you want more information on that, go to the South Bend Motor Speedway's Facebook page and their website as well. You can find all of that information. So, Chris, a lot of racing going on this weekend.
Yeah, that's putting it lightly.
I can already see like your camera finger is just twitching out of exhaustion.
Yeah, I think my eyes are twitching too.
All that editing. Look at the peanut gallery over here. They want to know what's in your cup this evening.
Still water. Always has been.
Still water. One of these days, you're going to switch it up and put something else in there.
And nobody's going to know.
Right. We both can't drink at the same time. Yeah, we both can't drink at the same time. It makes it look way too coordinated and it makes it look fishy. We can't do that. Well,
Stan has now called me looser, to which I will reply tighter.
Gotta love autocorrect. Well, Chris, a few more bills we got to pay here with some of our remaining sponsors. Obviously, Good Acre Photography.
Hey, that's me.
You kind of talked about the schedule and plan. You guys got
pain and suffering.
You guys got going on over there. So I'm sure that you will keep everybody abreast of the picture situation on goodacrephotography.com.
I will indeed.
The Facebook page and the Instagram page. So make sure everybody
I got to start using that.
Check that out as well. You and me both. Also wanted to shout out the International Women's Motorsports Association. If you guys ever wanted to meet Melinda or the reps, local reps for the International Women's Motorsports Association, they are going to be having a booth out at the Grundy County Speedway this Saturday night when the ARCA Midwest Tour comes in there. So if you want to learn more about the International Women's Motorsports Association and meet the great folks out there, the ambassadors for women's motorsports in the area, go ahead and check them out. So I think Left Turn and Graphics and Boss Man Driving DJ and the Driving DJ Network. Man, a lot of partners that help us with this show, and
we appreciate every one of them.
Yeah, of course, including S4 Motorsports and Damn It Race Videos. We appreciate all of them as well, and we appreciate all you guys for watching this evening on the Facebook and YouTube pages. So if you haven't liked and followed our pages, why not? Most of the people I see commenting are here, are regulars anyways. So make sure to share this video, share our page, get us out there, trying to get views and likes and just spread the message of local short track racing. So help us out by catching us out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. That being said, any other final thoughts this evening, Christopher?
I don't know if I had any beginning thoughts.
Well, I can understand that. So S4 Motorsports update, they'll be at the Lowell, Indiana Cruise Night. Stan, when is that cruise night? Because I assume it's not tonight. So when is that? So that will be this Saturday. So if you cannot make it to a racetrack, but in the Lowell area, and you want to go out to a cruise night and see some cool classic rides and race cars and talk to Stan the Man, 3 and 4, go ahead and do that. Ricky Klein Jr., Kryptonite Photography, checking in. Done some awesome promos for the Gambler. So go check those out on Kryptonite Photography and the South Bend Motor Speedway Facebook page. And really, the last thing I got before we let you go, say in the words of our buddy Tony Eldridge, man, get your backside trackside. A lot of stuff going on this weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of racing. Everybody's been cooped up for a while. If you're kind of a little shaky about getting out of the house, just protect yourself. Wear a mask if you feel comfortable. Take some hand sanitizer with you, and space out. But enjoy the weather, enjoy the summer as best you can, and get out to the racetrack, right?
Right. Yeah. That's where I'm going to be for 2 days in a row.
Well, with that being said, everybody, hope you guys enjoyed the show this week. Also, special thank you to Tom White and Gregg McKarns again. Like I said, we could have had them on for probably several hours or several.
I think Tom has already punched his ticket for at least 2 more episodes.
And you know what? Makes my job easier. So we definitely look forward to having them back, as we look forward to having you guys back again next week for an all new episode of Illiana Stock Car Radio. Take care, and we'll see you next week.